Hello, Bright Eyes friends. So, if you are watching this, you have made it to the last evening prayers of the semester. You are almost done. You're in the final stretch. You can do it. I know you can. I'm rooting you on as I'm here on bonding leave with Latoya and Sage. I know you can do it, and I look forward to reconnecting with you in the fall, or if you're graduating, still staying connected as an alumni. So, for me, this prayer of St. Francis, I look forward to you all sharing your own thoughts later on in this evening prayers. But to me, it's one of the most beautiful prayers in all of Christianity because it points to what is at the heart of Christianity. To me, St. Francis is one of those saints who most embodies the good news that Jesus embodied. I invite you to investigate the life of St. Francis a little bit more. St. Francis left everything. He came from a rich family and he felt this calling to leave everything and follow Jesus, to rebuild the church. Literally, that was he heard the voice of God calling him to say, rebuild my church. Because oftentimes throughout history, there are these times where we move so far away from the essential message of Jesus that we just need these reminders of what is most essential. And St. Francis embodied that, not only for enemies, but for animals. St. Francis is known as the patron saint of animals, and he embodies that love and that compassion. And this is where the rubber meets the road in terms of embodying our faith is how can I be loving even when someone's not loving to me? How can I be faithful even when there's doubt in the space? How can I be hopeful even when I feel despair? How can I, all of these things that Jesus invites us to in the midst of the opposite? It's so challenging. So I invite you to reflect on what are those things, those people, those scriptures, those other poems, things that give you inspiration to be loving even in the face of the opposite. I know for me, one of the things that gives me inspiration to be loving in the faces of hate or fear is it's not me. That there's that Hafiz quote that I am but a hole in a flute that the Christ's breath moves through. And so to me, in order to be loving, I let go of my own ego in order to let the love of God flow through me so that I can simply be a channel. That's what this prayer invites us to do, to be a channel of God's peace. So we're like that whole in the flute. We're letting the Christ's breath of love and hope and faith move through that flute so that we are embodying that love. And Richard Rohr, who's a Franciscan priest, which is a descendant of the order that Saint Francis founded, talks about that. Oftentimes something in our enemy triggers something in us, something that's not healed in us. Something about our enemy reflects something about us. It may not be in the same form, but I invite you to consider when someone triggers something in you, maybe someone's not loving, what is it about you that needs to be healed? And how can you open up to God's healing and transforming love in the midst of that fear, that hatred, that doubt, that sadness? So, friends, thank you again. I look forward to reconnecting in the fall. Many blessings.